I spent $1,000 on this locker just because I had my eyes locked on that pink scooter. I couldn't resist it, and now it's going straight into my personal collection. Moments like this perfectly capture the wild charm of Storage Wars. If there's one thing that reality TV can promise, it's the ability to keep viewers glued to their screens. And few shows did this better than A&E's Storage Wars. Since its debut back in 2010, the series delivered a mix of drama, treasure hunts, shocking discoveries, and unforgettable personalities. But as with every reality show, fame comes at a price. That's why today we're taking a closer look at what really happened to some of the most memorable stars once the cameras stopped rolling. At the heart of the show were Dan and Laura Dotson, affectionately known as the power couple of Storage Wars. Fans quickly gravitated toward them because of their infectious energy, charm, and unique style of auctioneer chatter even, when their words tumbled out so fast that they were hard to follow. Their quick banter, married couple, chemistry, and natural humor made them more than just auctioneers. They became the glue that held the show together. From the very first season, they were placed front and center, presiding over every bidding war and bringing personality to what could have been just another business transaction. Viewers loved how their warmth and wit lightened the tense, competitive atmosphere of the auctions. Before long, Don and Laura weren't just auctioneers, they were the heart and soul of the show itself. For all 14 seasons of Storage Wars, the Dotsons remained the lead auctioneers. They oversaw thousands of sales, each with the potential for shocking treasures or heartbreaking losses. And through it all, the audience stuck by them. Even when the spotlight shifted between different treasure hunters on the cast, Dan and Laura consistently remained central figures. Their stability closed the gap between the show's production and its loyal fan base. When financial troubles forced A&E to place the show on hiatus, the Dotsons didn't fade into the background. Instead, they leaned deeper into their passion for auctioneering. They continued hosting live storage locker auctions across California, giving eager bidders the same thrill they had once experienced on TV. Today, the couple runs their own successful company called Auctioneers, which manages public sales throughout California. They also operate StorageAuctions.net, expanding their influence across both the US and Canada. Their careers, once boosted by television, now thrive entirely on their hard-earned expertise, making them highly respected in the auction industry. But not every cast member's story was as steady. Take Mark Balalo, for instance, known to fans as Rico Suave, who's one of the most distinctive personalities ever to grace Storage Wars. Unlike the typical bargain hunters, Mark walked into auctions like he owned the room, dressed in sharp suits, polished shoes, and radiating confidence. He had a talent for transforming dusty storage units into cash, and his unpredictable high-energy bidding style turned every auction into a performance. It wasn't just playing the game, he was entertainment gold. Yet behind the scenes, Mark's life told a much different story. Away from the cameras, he faced mounting personal struggles and serious legal problems that weighed heavily on him. Those who knew him described him as increasingly stressed in his final months. On February 11, 2013, the shocking news broke. Mark Balalo had died at just 40 years old. His death was ruled a suicide, leaving fans and fellow cast members devastated. The stylish, happy-go-lucky man they once admired had become the center of a heartbreaking tragedy. Still, Mark's legacy continues. On the show, he will always be remembered for his flair, confidence, and ability to make auctions exciting. But his story also serves as a sobering reminder that reality TV personalities are real people, often carrying struggles hidden behind the glamour of fame. Before his passing, Mark was the president and CEO of Balo Inc., while also owning a gaming store, the Game Exchange, and running Balo Auction. His entrepreneurial drive and charisma made him a force in the storage auction world, even if his life ended too soon. Another unforgettable figure was Daryl Sheets, one of the show's original stars. Nicknamed the Gambler, Daryl earned his title by embracing a go big or go home attitude. Fans loved watching him take massive risks, sometimes losing thousands in a single bid, but always bouncing back with optimism. He believed that the next locker could change his life. and this mindset became his trademark. After leaving the show, Daryl decided to focus on his health. He embarked on a weight loss journey, shedding 40 pounds using Nutrisystem. For him, hope wasn't just about winning lockers. It was about improving life step by step. Once said that if he could inspire just one person to get off the couch and believe in change, then he'd be happy. His positivity, both on and off screen, left a lasting mark on fans. But in 2019, Daryl's health took a serious turn when he suffered a heart attack while fishing. Doctors diagnosed him with congestive heart failure, and he required major heart surgery. Even in the face of such struggles, Daryl never lost his optimism. He made brief returns to Storage Wars before eventually stepping away entirely to focus on his family and health. Sadly, in March 2023, Daryl Sheets passed away at home, surrounded by his loved ones. Fellow cast member Jared Schultz paid tribute, saying, "Daryl taught me to go for it, no matter the odds. He lived life as he was fearless." Daryl's son, Brandon Sheets, also played a key role in the series. Nicknamed Side Bet, Brandon brought a youthful energy to the show during its first 8 seasons. Unlike his father's reckless gambling style, Brandon took a more measured and tactical approach. Their father-son dynamic was a highlight for fans, as Brandon often acted as the voice of reason when Daryl got carried away in 2016. Budget cuts led to Brandon being cut from the show, after which he moved to Arizona with his family and shifted careers into real estate. While his days of auctioneering were behind him, Brandon embraced a quieter life, working as a sales agent and logistics specialist. However, personal struggles, including financial stress and health concerns, continued to affect him. In June 2024, he survived a serious car accident with only minor injuries, a reminder of his resilience. Though no longer in the spotlight, Brandon still shows glimpses of his old humor, once even parodying MTV Cribs on Facebook by showing off his middle-class suburban life. Then there was Barry Weiss. Isley, one of the most unique and beloved figures on Storage Wars, known as the Collector. Barry wasn't in it for the profits. He was in it for the thrill. With his quirky humor, flashy outfits, vintage cars, and love for odd treasures, Barry added a whole new flavor to the show. Fans adored his eccentric style and unpredictable purchases. Barry eventually left the series in 2015 after 4 seasons, but not before landing his own spin-offs, Buried Treasure and Storage Wars. Barry Strikes Back both showcased his adventurous spirit and unique perspective on auctions. In 2019, however, tragedy struck when Barry was involved in a severe motorcycle accident that left him with multiple injuries. After months of recovery, he bounced back and even became the face of Sherwood Valley Casino. He later did voiceover work for Northern California casinos, proving he could still thrive despite setbacks. Today, Barry lives a quieter life, but remains a fan favorite, remembered as one of the most entertaining personalities to ever appear on the show. And of course, there's Ivy Calvin, the retired football player and MMA fighter turned storage warrior. Known as the King of Palmdale, Ivy first appeared as a recurring cast member before officially joining the main cast in Season 5. With his fierce, competitive drive and unstoppable energy, Ivy quickly earned his place as one of the show's standout figures. Ivy Calvin's rise on Storage Wars wasn't by accident. It was because of the strong impression he made with his no-nonsense attitude. He had sharp instincts, and once he sensed even the smallest chance of profit hidden inside a locker, nothing could hold him back from outbidding his rivals. His background in high-contact sports gave him an edge. He was quick on his feet, physically adaptable, and mentally tough. All qualities that served him well in the fast-paced, high-pressure world of storage auctions. The determination, paired with his confidence and decisiveness, helped him secure a spot among the fan favorites. Over time, Calvin became more than just another bidder. He became a beloved cast member whose bold moves and sharp finds boosted him high in the ranks of audience admiration. Fans also appreciated his competitive banter with other buyers, though. Unlike many rivals, he wasn't there for the drama. He was straightforward, driven, and fully aware that the real path to success was paved with determination and hard work. Those qualities paid off as he became one of the strongest buyers during the later seasons of the show, after cementing his reputation on Storage Wars. Calvin decided it was time to take a step back from the spotlight and refocus on his own business ventures. He opened a thrift store in Palmdale, California, called Grandma's Attic, specializing in rare antiques. The store quickly developed a loyal local following, but Calvin eventually made the tough choice to scale back. He closed the storefront for regular daily operations and shifted instead toward online sales and special weekend openings. Those limited weekend events became special opportunities for collectors and fans to browse his carefully curated selection, while still giving him space away from the constant glare of reality television. Even though he no longer appears on TV, Ivy Calvin has remained a strong presence in his community and within the antiques world. Away from the auctions, he continues to enjoy life with his wife, Wendy Calvin, and their 2 children, Isaiah and Ivy Jr. Another couple who made a memorable impact on Storage Wars were Renee and Casey Nezota, who joined the cast in Season 4. Instantly, they stood out as a husband and wife duo whose humor and chemistry made them fan favorites. Their dynamic brought an entertaining balance to the show. Renee, with his encyclopedic knowledge of antiques, collectibles, and resale values, always took the lead during auctions. His confident, almost commanding demeanor gave him a leadership role among the buyers. Casey, meanwhile, brought charm and intuition to the table, often balancing out Renee's bold personality with her calm but firm business sense. Together, they became one of the show's strongest partnerships, embodying both professionalism and playfulness in a way that drew audiences in. The Nezotas remained part of the main cast until the show went on an indefinite hiatus in 2019. And their absence left a noticeable gap for fans who had come to enjoy their unique mix of expertise and entertainment. Fortunately, when Storage Wars returned in 2021, Renee and Casey came back as well, slipping seamlessly into the auction scene as though they had never left. During the hiatus, unlike some of their castmates who stepped away from the spotlight, the couple embraced their public attention. In 2019, they launched their YouTube channel, Bargain Hunters Thrift, which quickly grew to over 191,000 subscribers. The channel allowed fans to connect with the couple in a more direct and unfiltered way, enjoying their personalities outside the constraints of reality TV. Beyond YouTube, they also opened Bargain Hunters Thrift Store in Powell, California, which specialized in vintage items and collectibles. Though the store closed permanently in 2023, Renee and Casey have remained happily married. Despite rumors that circulated suggesting otherwise, when it comes to memorable couples, Brandy Passante and Jared Schultz were another unforgettable duo. From Storage Wars, unlike the Nezotas, their chemistry leaned toward fiery bickering mixed with fearless bidding. From the very first season, they were central figures on the show, staying on until season 12. Their popularity even earned them a spin-off series in 2014 called Brandy and Jared, Married to the Job, which showcased their struggles to balance family life with their booming auction business. Their story, however, stretched back much further. The couple first met in 1999 when Brandy began working at a carpet cleaning company where Jared was already employed. Though they never legally married, they stayed in a long-term relationship for many years, raising 2 children together while also building their presence on reality television. Unfortunately, their partnership unraveled. After season 12 aired in 2018, the couple quietly split. Though they didn't publicly confirm it until season 13 premiered in 2021, Brandy later revealed that Jared had often been an absent father, and TMZ even captured troubling footage of him shoving her. The full truth about their relationship may never be known. But Brandy made her feelings clear with a tattoo reading "free," a symbolic statement about her independence after the breakup. Since then, she has moved on with a new boyfriend, Clifford Beaver, and seems happier than ever. Today, Brandy embraces life as a single mother, raising her 2 children largely on her own, while also enjoying her new relationship and independence. Not every cast member was beloved, however. Dave Hester became known as the villain of Storage Wars. He was instantly recognizable for his grating, repetitive catchphrase, "Yoop," She would loudly shout at auctions, much to the irritation of both cast members and viewers. His bluntness, arrogance, and cutthroat style made him one of the most controversial figures on the show. While many fans disliked him, others argued that his role as the antagonist brought necessary tension and drama, which fueled the show's popularity. Reality TV always thrives on conflict, and Dave filled that role perfectly. But Hester's time on the show came to a sudden end when he publicly criticized the producers, claiming the program was scripted. The network didn't take kindly to his outspoken remarks, and eventually, he was fired. Many fans were shocked, but Hester didn't let the setback keep him down for long. He pursued other television opportunities before eventually opening his own independent auctioneering and consulting business. Eventually, he stepped away from the spotlight altogether. In later interviews, he shared that he had become semi-retired, now prioritizing his role as a father of two and enjoying a quieter life in Alaska. His post-TV years, however, weren't without challenges. Hester suffered a life-threatening hemorrhagic stroke caused by high blood pressure and sleep apnea. After a long recovery, he reevaluated his priorities, choosing to live at a slower pace with his family. Today, he remains far away from the chaos of reality TV, living a quieter, healthier life. Another standout personality was Mary Padian, often affectionately called the Junkster. She first appeared on Storage Wars, Texas, before joining the main show in Season 5. Mary stood out for her quirky personality, adventurous spirit, and unique approach to treasure hunting. She was not only comfortable in traditional auctions, but was also known to dumpster dive if she thought something valuable might be hiding inside. Fans loved her eccentricity, her creativity, and her eye for turning overlooked items into prized finds. Beyond the show, Mary channeled her passion into her own business, Mary's Finds, a vintage store filled with eclectic treasures, many of which had been featured during her time on Storage Wars. Her shop wasn't just a business. It was an extension of her personality, where every object carried a story. But Mary's interests went far beyond antiques. She dedicated herself to Ubuntu Life, a charitable organization in Kenya that supports children with special needs. Her involvement wasn't passive. She traveled to Kenya, connected with locals, and even brought back treasures that she sold through her shop and website, donating 20% of proceeds to the cause. For Mary, her career was never just about business. It was about using her platform to make a difference. Like many small businesses, however, Mary's Finds was hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic, and the Dallas storefront was eventually forced. Too close. Undeterred, Mary adapted by shifting her operations online. Today, her business lives on digitally. She continues to share her passion for DIY projects, decor, and vintage finds with her fans through social media. She occasionally appears at vintage markets and pop-up events, delighting fans who get to meet her in person. Mary's enduring charm comes from her authenticity. The quirky, adventurous, endlessly curious woman fans fell in love with on Storage Wars is still very much the same today. Only now her energy is spread across business, creativity, and philanthropy. Her journey is a reminder that the real heart of Storage Wars was never just about dusty lockers or surprise jackpots. It was about the casts, their humor, conflicts, resilience, and the ways they connected with fans. Mary's story shows how those personalities extended far beyond television. She may have stepped away from the storage units, but she never stopped searching for treasures, both in objects and in the lives she touched. In the end, Storage Wars became more than a show. It became a cultural moment, carried by the bold, eccentric, and unforgettable personalities who brought every auction to life. Though the cast members have taken different paths, most continue to thrive, whether in business, in family life, or in giving back to the world.